At least one person is dead and dozens are wounded after Russia launched another major overnight attack on Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia region. Now, the strikes hit early this morning, damaging homes and infrastructure. Officials say 3 children are among the wounded. Now, this comes as diplomatic efforts are underway in Denmark to end the war. EU foreign ministers are there to discuss how to put more pressure on the Russian President Vladimir Putin. CBC's Julia Chapman reports from London.
Natasha, this was the second significant overnight attack against Ukraine this week. According to officials in Kyiv, Russia launched 537 drones and 45 missiles at the country. And as you say, Zaporizhzhia was the worst affected of the 14 regions that were hit. Several residential buildings were damaged in these attacks, one of them especially badly, and it's there that one fatality did take place and some 24 other people were injured, 3 of them children. The Dnipropetrovsk region was also targeted. That's noteworthy because earlier this week, that is where Russian troops entered for the first time in a long time. And Russia says that it also shot down a number of Ukrainian drones overnight. The exact number isn't known, but Kyiv says that it also struck 2 oil refineries inside Russia.
Julia, EU foreign ministers met informally in Copenhagen today, the war in Ukraine remaining on the top of the agenda there. What do we know about those talks and where did the diplomatic efforts stand?
Well, attacks like the one we saw overnight really do lend themselves to the idea among many European officials that dialogue simply isn't working with Russia and more pressure does need to be exerted on Moscow, they say. And to that end, European foreign ministers were meeting in Denmark. That was a meeting chaired by the foreign policy chief Kaja Kallas, who said that she doesn't believe that Russia is interested in peace.
European Union and all the member states support the diplomatic efforts to achieve peace and the end of Russia's war. But it's clear that Russia is not preparing for peace. It is the opposite. They are preparing for more war.
So there were a number of things being discussed today, among them what would be included in the next European Union package of sanctions against Russia. They discussed secondary sanctions against some of Moscow's trading partners, import bans, shadow fleets that are used by Russia, taking more action against them, but also what to do about Russia's frozen assets that are held in European Union financial institutions, the profits of which are being allocated towards the eventual rebuilding of Ukraine. The European Union member states are discussing trying to put those in more risky investments to generate even more money for Ukraine. Kaja Kallas said that that money would be only given back to Russia if reparations were one day paid. But she did also say that she would be expecting proposals from member states next week about what new sanctions could be included.
CBC's Julia Chapman in London.